Welcome to a chapter in Indian history that still evokes intense debate and reflection. The emergency of 1975 to 1977, declared by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, is often called India's darkest hour. But what led to this unprecedented suspension of democracy? What were its consequences on civil liberties, political dissent, the press, and the Constitution itself? Let's examine this critical episode through multiple lenses: legal, political, social, and personal. By 1975, political unrest was boiling. The country faced inflation, unemployment, and rising opposition voices led by Jayaprakash Narayan's Total Revolution movement. The trigger came on June 12, 1975, when the Allahabad High Court found Prime Minister Indira Gandhi guilty of electoral malpractice. Fearing she might be forced to resign, Indira Gandhi advised the president to declare a national emergency under Article 352, citing internal disturbance. Overnight, democracy in India was placed under lockdown. The emergency was legally backed by Article 352 of the Indian Constitution, which allowed the government to suspend fundamental rights. Presidential rule, censorship, arrests under MISA, Maintenance of Internal Security Act, and sweeping ordinances changed the very framework of India's parliamentary democracy. Civil liberties were effectively frozen, and the judiciary appeared silent, most shockingly in the ADM Jabalpur case, where the Supreme Court ruled that even the right to life could be suspended. Newspapers were gagged, editors were arrested, and censorship officers were stationed in newsrooms. The Times of India and Indian Express left blank spaces where stories were deleted. Dissent became dangerous. Over 100,000 political opponents were arrested, and public discourse was suffocated. Artists, writers, and activists were forced into silence or exile. It was a calculated effort to mold the public narrative, with fear as the tool. One of the most controversial outcomes was Sanjay Gandhi's rise to power. Though unelected, he spearheaded programs like slum clearance and compulsory sterilization, often using coercion. The family planning drive led to mass sterilizations, targeting poor communities under the guise of population control. This left a scar on public trust and human rights, with forced vasectomies becoming a symbol of state overreach. Despite the clampdown, opposition leaders like George Fernandez, J.P. Narayan, and Morarji Desai resisted. Underground newspapers, student protests, and international condemnation began mounting. Amnesty International and foreign press outlets exposed the abuses. These voices of dissent kept the flame of democracy alive, even as jails filled with political prisoners. In a surprising move, Indira Gandhi lifted the emergency in January 1977 and called for general elections. But the people had not forgotten. The opposition united under the Janata party, and in March 1977, the Congress faced a historic defeat. Indira Gandhi lost her own seat. It was a powerful reminder that the Indian voter values freedom above fear. Democracy, though bruised, emerged stronger. The emergency was not just a political mistake, it was a moral crisis, a constitutional test, and a societal trauma. But it also became a defining moment where India's democracy proved its resilience. In the shadows of suspended freedom, the will of the people still triumphed. So, was it India's darkest hour? Perhaps.